Yerushalmi Sotah Daf from Gimel Amid Aleph. Kseva Kechle Soshem L'Daber Olam. Ufaktu Sori Tzvos B'Rosham. Eli LeBrosham. B'Soifam and had what we said in the Mishnah. Stood in the back too. Hamaloima Paktu Ufaktu. So Ufaktu is Moisef, right? So you wrote a famous kash. I could be a Akiva who darshins, right? He darshins Kefalosha. Right, could have, what about Rabbi Shmuel? So I'm thinking, Rabbi Shmuel could have made Sobach l'soifet the Chavl Reisha. Made to scream out. In this case, means called. He called the end of the rope. He called the end, the beginning of the rope. In other words, you have two ends of a rope, right? Who says, or you have a big table, let's say, right? Who says which way is the front, which way is the back? I want to make Sivach Chacham Ein B'Roishai. Right, the Gemara, Axil Ein B'Raglo. What it means? It says Chacham Ein B'Roishai, but Axil his eyes are in his feet. On Rabba, no, Mari Chacham. I'm sorry, Amr Baba Mori, Shel Davu, When he starts something, he knows what the consequences of his actions could be. God Gadudi Gadano. So guys so Asi, may guys stay. A marauding arms can come and try to trap him. Who may guys slay? But he's going to trap the enemy. Kine Mesnita. And now the Gemara says, it's if you looked in the Mishnah, it says Shetchilas Nefila Nisa, which it's the other way around. The Gemara says, you're right, Doc, you have to change it. Kini Masnita Shetchilas Nefila, the first part of the feet, the first part of the feet is Nisa, is running away. Amr Rabbi Yochanan Mishmaos, Amr Rabbi Yochanan Mishmaos Beineyain. That and now this is going on. We said Melchemes Mitzvah versus Melchemes Rishus, Melchemes Mitzvah versus Melchemes Chayva. So Rabbi Yochanan says Mishmos Beineihem. It's not. There's no halacha over here. It's Rabbi Yehuda. He called Melchemes Rishus Melchemes Mitzvah. Rabbi Yehuda used to call Melchemes Rishus Melchemes Mitzvah. Melchemes Chayva Hakol Yoytze. Everybody goes out. The Filachos Mechedri Chalav Pasa. That's fine. Let's just see the carbonated mashmos beineim bein rabban Rabbi Yehuda leka pluk. There's no machlokes. The ladina shneim shavim. My bottom line is it's just semantics. Elman rabban karim shus va'amri shechayzrim. Rabbi Yehuda that's a mitzvah. My rabban karim mitzvah v'soim shakol yoytz and everybody has to go fight. Rabbi Yehuda karim chayva v'nafkaminu lepotri mishar mitzvahs by the asik ba. Right. The question is what's considered to be a mitzvah that the asik mitzvah is part of a mitzvah. Rav Chisda actually machloikis beinein. No, there is a machloikis over here. I think I skipped the line. Amar Rav Mishmas beinein Rabbi Yehuda Kari Kadol Melchemes Rishus Melchemes Mitzvah Melchemes Chayva Kol Yotzeh Afilu Chas Mechedra Echad Mechupasa. Amar Chisda machloikis beinein. No, there's actually machloikis. Rabbi Yehuda, I'm going to give so of the carbonated. Rabbi Yehuda Melchemes Mitzvah Zu Melchemes David. That's the Melchemes David. Melchemes Chayva is Zu Melchemes Yeshua. That's Rabbi Yehuda's sheet. Rabbana Melchemes Rishus Kigain the Asyan Inun Aleinaim. We're going to fight them. That's considered to be a Melchemes Rishus. Now, it's if we're the ones instigating, for whatever reason, we're instigating war. That's what we're going to read from the Carbonate. Melchemes Mitzvah Melchemes David. The Haya Bahu Shnei Dvarim, because it had two elements. Achas, the first element is Lahatzal Yisonu Me'abam Aleinu Kigoy Melchemes Plishtim. He went to save us from our enemies. V'shenis, the second purpose of fighting was Love Elein Laharchiv Haaretz. There was also an ulterior motive, which was to increase property. Kigoy Melchemes Aram Va'amoin. And in both these cases, no, the Melchemes, the Melchemes mitzvah of Melchemes David, whether it was to increase the territory or whether it was to save us over there, in both these cases, the people will go back. That was Melchemes Chayva, Rabbanan Sabi, so in those cases, they do not go back. Rabbanan Sabi, they ain't chosen Melchemes Rishus, Dananas Linan Aleihim. That if we're instigating the war, then these people get to go back. Let's say they're coming to fight us. That is considered to be Melchemes Chayva, like Melchemes Yeshua. Afilu Chas Mechedroi and Kal Mechapaso, they would and they'd have to go fight the war. So there's actually a real machlokes over here. Ksiv, it says in the pasuk. V'amelech asa shmias kol Yehuda ein naki. That's what it says in the pasuk. Ma'u ein naki. What's ein naki? Reb Simon, Rabbanu Rebs. It's machlekes between Rabbanu. Reb Simon, it says ein naki lebeisai sho achas. That by Asa he ordered everybody to go fight, even a chasen mechupase. Rabbanu Amrim less Rebbe berebbe. That that even a rov had to go, even a chasher rov had to go fight, fight the war. Hanloch perch Mashuach Machama, Hanloch perch Mashuach Machama, Hanloch Mashuach Machama. Pankin the Perk Egla Rufa. Egla Rufa Bloshna Kodesh was the whole Pasha of Egla Rufa was said in Lashon Kodesh, and we'll see in the Gemara where they dash this from. It says Ki Motze Chol Ba'adama V'Gam V'Yatzos Kenech V'Shevtecha, and so they all had to go out. V'shloshim and Bez Nagadol Shebishleim HaYotzim. Three people from the Bez Nagadol used to have to come out to this to do the Egla Rufa. Yudaim Chamisha, five. Why? Shneim says Kenecho Shneim Shevtecha Shneim. And Bez Nishak, you can't have an equal Bez. Mosif and Leimadecha, they had one more, so you have five. Took them Egla Rufa. Leimistabra the law, which means over here Ella. Where do we get this from? But on the Ram, that's how we know it's said Loshna Kodesh. Bola Haskel Matchilas HaPashas. Now, when they started from Matchilas HaPashas, we're going to dash in the Pasha. Kimatei Loi B'Shoshem Etzvin. Kimatei is you found an unusual case. You found a dead body in the street. It was murdered. It's not a case where many people are being murdered. Kimatei, we're dashing that word again. Loi Shetei Chayze Mitzoysis Alav. Not that you have to dig for him to find him. He's there, obviously laying in the street. Means they had to be Adim. We don't know who killed him. If we would know who killed him. I feel ever feel a shivcha knows that someone, either the ever or shivcha, saw the murderer. They didn't do the eglarufa. So Gemara says like this: Taman atam afilu ever afilu shivcha lo you orphan. The kay atam and you tell me if even ever a shivcha saw who the murder was. You're saying that we don't do the eglarufa. Now you're telling me that you only do it. You only do it. You only do it ve'edim. Kan lahayrig, kan lanev. The question is what they witnessed. So if they're lahayrig, if they witnessed the murderer, so then anachanami, they would not. And so then you don't. So if they saw the murderer, then they don't do the egla rufa. Kan lanev. If they saw the victim, then they do. Then you still do the egla rufa. It says v'do da'atam afilu eved afilu shivcha lo yoifin. Well, we said even an Eved Shivcha saw the murder. Lo yoifim ba'osin sha'amru imroyin anu oisai ma'kirin anu oisai. That's only if they would say that once they saw who the murderer was, they can pick him out of a lineup. Al ba'osin sha'amru imroyin anu oisai ein anu ma'kirin oisai. Actually, there's it gives it to stick in the stick in the gears has a piece missing. Bezdin shiro sahoire. If Bezdin saw the murderer, Amru imroin anu oisai, and they said if we would see the guy, ein on makirin oisai, but we wouldn't recognize him. We couldn't pick him. We saw him, but we can't pick him out of the lineup. Then loy hayu arf. Then loy hayu arfin. Then they did not do the egla arufa. Why? The ksiv einenu loy ra'u. Where our eyes didn't see it, but this is specifically by the Bezdin. When the Bezdin saw it and they can't pick him out of a lineup, then we say that they don't do that. Why? Because it says veinenu loy ro. That's what the Zakanim have to say. If I ro mikolmak, they saw the guy. Okay, they can't pick him. They wouldn't recognize him. But somebody saw him, so they don't do it. But avu ba'oison sha'amru. Just to go back for a second. Ba'oison sha'amru imroin onu oisai ein onu makirno. It's let's say by the shifcha or by Eved or shifcha. It says, well, we saw him, but we couldn't pick him out of the lineup. In that case, hayu arfin, they used to do they used to do the arifa because it didn't the exeris hakosov was only in the best but otherwise you have to be able to pick him out of a lineup. If you can't, then you have to do the egla rufa. Bezin shiro is haharog. You have to read over here. Bezin saw. Right, you have to have Adis, right? So the din is, we said that you need Aim to see it. So let's say it was a Bezin sort like the, so Bezin Shrosa Harug is Tain Tani, so what do you do just like the Kiddush Lavonis? Yam Dushnavi Yidul Lefneim. So two people get up from the Bezin and they're made in front of the rest of the Bezin. Is Tiny Tani? No. Yam Kulam Yidu Mamakam that they all have to go and be made in front of another Bezin because Ain Aid Nasa Dain. Yehuda ben Pazi b'Shem Rav Zira Shem Shem Chalukim Kahan Kachin Chalukim be'edus hachodesh. The same machlokes we just said you would have be'edus hachodesh. That's another if let's say two people from the bezin saw the edus hachodesh, can they testify in front of the rest of the bezin, or do they all have to go to a different bezin? That you have to see you have to see the dead body there, not that he's in his death throes. What about Re'um Mefarper Kan? So they see a guy in his death throes, and I don't know why, but they left him for some reason, and then they come back and you don't see him anymore. So and you don't have to do the Egla Rufa because he's healed near the Refush life. Ru'um Mefarches Kan, let's say they see him in his death throes here. Matzu Meis b'Makom. Then they find the guy dead in a different place. So where do you measure that Glarufa from? Where do you measure? Where do you do the measure from to the city? We measured from the place that he was actually found dead.